Hello, everyone, and welcome to the very first episode of Double Feature Podcast. I'm Kira.
And I'm Mika.
And we have finally done it. We've pressed record. It's only taken a few years, to say the least.
Yes.
Yes, it's definitely, I would say 7 years to be exact. We've been talking about starting this podcast.
Yeah, it's been about 7 years.
Yes, but we're doing it. We finally pressed record, and we're here. And so before we jump into the podcast, we're going to share with everyone a little bit about ourselves. For people who don't know us, Mika and I are identical twin sisters. We live and work in Massachusetts. We're not originally from Massachusetts.
No, we came up here for college, and I think it's been,
20 years later, we're still here. We are originally from the Garden State. Shout out to New Jersey. We still have family and friends there. And no shade to Massachusetts. We love her. She is a secondary home at this point. But let's just say we're not in Boston. We're more...
I would say we're Boston adjacent. but not really.
Not really. No,
Because I say it takes us about,
45 minutes, 30 if you put the gas, if you smash the gas pedal, you could probably do it in half an hour.
Yeah, we probably could do it in 30.
Yeah, we could do it. But in saying that, what we mean is like we're in a city, but we're not in the city most people think about when you think of Massachusetts. So it's not really giving you liveliness, if you will. I mean, there's things to do, but you could easily...
I mean, is there really?
There's more things to do than there was when we first got here.
Okay, yeah.
Would you agree with that?
That's to development.
Yeah, so you see a lot of new investment in the city we live in. There's more restaurants and things that weren't here that you can do now.
Yeah, and the good thing is what we love, theater.
Okay, yeah, exactly.
There's a lot of film arenas.
Okay, yes, and we love a good live show.
Yeah.
So we can definitely get to Boston when we need to.
Yeah.
Okay. In terms of work, let's let people know what we do. We're not going to share or tell people specifically where we work.
I think it's funny though, because as twins, we always seem to do the same thing because we did the same major.
My major was criminal justice.
Yeah.
We have the same master's degree.
Yeah, that was in
Justice administration.
And ironically, we're not doing anything to do with criminal justice.
No, nothing that I feel. Like, that is so funny, you guys. We have to say, we went to school for one thing, and we actually work in a field that's drastically different. I mean, I think you can apply some of what our background, criminal justice, into what we do.
We do social work.
Mm-hmm.
And, criminal justice is a social science.
That's overlap.
Yeah, there's overlap. But yeah, this is Mika. I work with individuals with intellectual disabilities.
Right. And I personally work with individuals with mental health disorders or diagnoses. And so what'd you say? I would call us case managers, social workers.
Yeah.
That sums it up.
That's something up without giving up
Too much.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And reasonably, our jobs are quite taxing. I feel like we work 40 hours a week, full time.
And sometimes it seems longer than that. Anyone in social work know that it's hard to turn it off.
It's when you're supposed to. And sometimes, like, I know my day starts at 8:30, ends at 5, more like 6:30, sometimes 7, depending on what the day looks like. But I am trying to be done at 5, you guys.
Mhm.
Yes.
And me is off. Is 1 at 9, off at 5, 1 at 9.
No, you're really good about this. Sometimes I don't like to leave things undone. I am learning more so that it can wait. And we really want to I want to get my personal time back.
Yeah, because it's all about that self-care.
Self-care. Yeah, we want to practice it. We want to live it, even though sometimes work, may not allow us to.
Yeah. But that was a thing too, because that's why we wanted to start the podcast, because, work can be so taxing that one of the things we love is when we come home, throwing on that
Film like a good movie, yes. So the podcast does two things. It allows us to have a creative outlet.
Mhm.
As Libras, shout out to my fellow Libras listening. We have that creative aspect to us where we have to be doing something creatively, whether that's writing. We both like writing. What else would you say?
Yeah, we love writing. So I like writing poetry. I love art, even though I'm not. I don't think
Artist, I don't think so.
artist.
Yeah, but you do write well. Screenplays, you definitely have some screenplays.
Yeah, I've been dabbling in this.
Dabbing it a little bit.
But that's the one thing about a Libra too. We so like the wind blow to the left.
Oh yeah,
No, but yeah, and then the wind blow to the right.
That's so
You over there,
true.
so like stuff can get stuck.
Yes, and I know one thing our mother always says is, "You guys always start things, but you never finish or you never follow through." And I said, "Oh my God, that's so the Libra in me."
But look at that, because look at the podcast.
7 years. Exactly, exactly. So basically we wanted to do the podcast because creatively we wanted to kind of have something that we can put ourselves into and something outside of work that we're passionate about.
And that we really enjoy.
Yes, and film is something that we bond over. Like we really do have a strong affinity for film, television, media, and arts overall. And the podcast was just a way to encompass that.
Yeah.
And like Mika said, when we do come home, we usually want to just reset and just watch something funny, turn on a horror, just dive into a really good film.
Yeah, because to me, my favorite genre is horror, and I'm all about escapism. And that's the great thing that that all I love about movies is that for maybe an hour and a half or 2 hours, you can just escape to another reality.
Oh, I love it. Exactly. And if we get brave enough to do video, we got to show everyone your horror collection.
Yes, Milton.
For our listeners, Mika is a physical media collector. Did I say that right? It sound all fancy.
No, no. No, it is. So basically, old school, you collecting. I know a lot of TV viewing or film viewing is streaming nowadays, but I still love collecting VHS and DVDs and Blu-ray.
Let them know. Take it back.
I know it. Because it's something about having that physical copy. Because sometimes you'll go to throw something on and
you can't find it.
You can't find it.
You guys, you don't know how many times I want to see a movie. And then let's say I Google it in and you waiting to see what platform you can stream it on and nobody got it. So I have to rent it.
Yeah, or something that was available in Netflix a week ago. Then I go to watch it and it's not there.
Yes, we love Netflix licensing running out.
Yeah, so that's why I said, like, if I have the physical copy, I can always just pull it. And I specifically collect horror because that's really my genre, even though I love, like, all genres, but horror is my jam.
Yeah. I would agree. Yes, I would agree. Okay, so you guys, before we delve into what people can expect for the podcast, we got to let you know what we drinking.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
So, as our tagline says, we all about that tea.
Tea, hot tea, no gossip.
No gossip.
It's straight tea.
Yeah.
And so, what I would say about you, Mika, if you don't mind me trying to like explain your tea consumption.
Yeah, I know what you're gonna say.
You're pretty basic.
I'm very basic. So I'm gonna give you a nice Lipton tea.
You might give Earl Grey.
Might give you some Earl Grey.
Okay.
But it's basically gonna be a Lipton black tea. And I'm gonna give you a sugar with some soda tea.
Yeah, you guys, I kid you not, she literally puts 4 minimum scoops of sugar in your tea. You like it very sweet.
I love it sweet, and that's as spicy as the tea gets. But I'm trying to cut down on that sugar.
Yeah, and I'm trying to get you guys, I'm trying to get her to try different things. For me, I'm also a tea lover. I would call myself a tea connoisseur.
I'd say because you try a lot of flavors.
Yes. So I like loose leaf tea. I put nothing in my tea. If anything, I might give you a lemon wedge.
See, and you lost me without that sugar.
Well, I've been trying to get you to try even honey.
Or honey. I might do honey, but
Yeah.
I still would probably need some sugar with it.
Yes, and you guys are so funny. When I make Mika's cup of tea, I try to be a little bit sneaky, adding like a little tablespoon of lemon juice, a lemon wedge, and some honey, and you don't feel that.
No, and one because you throw some flavors in there, and I don't like all that. You be like, rose, lavender. I'm like, no, it's too much going on with this cup of tea.
I hear you. So just so you guys know, every podcast we do, if you're hearing clanking, if you're hearing the occasional sip, we're drinking tea.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and so tonight I have my rose hips tea, and you're drinking your Lipton.
My Lipton.
Okay. So now that we got that out of the way, let's let people know what they can expect from our podcast. So we did let you guys know briefly a little bit. So since we love film, we view it as an escapism. That's basically what the podcast is going to encompass, varied topics in film.
Yes, and we want to share. So we want to do some film reviews on films that we've recently watched.
Yeah. And we're hoping to have some chats, have people on that we've actually connected with through social media. So have some interviews, maybe some guest panelists.
Yeah, that'd be great to get some people on.
Yes, yes. And actually, another thing that we were thinking about potentially is just some other random tidbits, like different things of interest that we can include in the
Yeah.
podcast.
Yeah, maybe like some actor spotlight.
Oh, yeah, exactly, exactly. And so overall, the podcast is just going to encompass our love in film and vary topics in film.
Yeah. And I think what we're trying to look to do is we're gonna try to see if we can get a podcast out weekly to you guys.
Yeah, we're gonna try, you guys. Please bear with us. This is episode 1. We were thinking like initially Wednesdays, but now we're going to aim for Fridays to get our podcasts out.
Yeah, because we're thinking, end of the week, you guys can, you want to throw us one if you're going on a road trip.
Yeah, after work, you end your day on Friday.
Or, you cleaning that house on the weekend.
Yes. So we want to give you something that you can look forward to at the end of the week and that you'll absolutely have the time, hopefully, to kind of tune in.
Yeah, and a big thing we're trying to really tackle is this tech.
Yes. So yes, and we should say that before anything else. We have a fear of tech. I had told Mika about what I found this term called technophobia.
Yeah, and I was like, that is not a real
You didn't think it was a real thing?
I did not.
And for our listeners, technophobia is basically someone that has a fear or a dislike for new technology or technology in general. And I wouldn't say we dislike tech. I think we can do the basics. Like
Yeah. My whole thing was I was looking at like, oh my God, the editing, the
intros,
intro.
outros, ad music, cut music.
Yeah, and I just was like, this is a lot because I just want to get on there and record. So I kind of made peace that if we can like YouTube this thing or Skillshare our way to learn this, that we're gonna pay someone to do it.
Yes, that was the realization we came to. It's basically like, let's record, let's share, let's start. We're gonna attempt to learn, and when in doubt, yes, we can pay someone to do it, you guys. We'll attempt. We taking those tutorials now. We skill sharing. We're YouTubing, but that was basically a hold up too. We didn't think we were equipped to kind of manage all that was required to put a good podcast out.
Yeah, and I know you remember you told me that one of our friends said, look, there's grandmas out there who have podcasts.
Okay. Yeah, man. When our friend said that kind of changed the game, and basically no shade. It was just more or less like, hey, come on now, we can do this.
Let's do it.
Yeah. So you guys, we are committed. We're excited, and we hope that you guys come along for the ride.
Yeah, stay tuned.
Stay tuned. This is just a little teaser, a little introduction. And we hope that you guys can stick around and join us for episode 2, coming to you next Friday. Okay, bye everyone.
Bye.